So people ask me all the time, they say, Tim, how do you stay so happy? How do you stay so positive? And I always give them the same answer: drugs. I'm joking, I'm joking. Your boy is clean and sober, has been for over 6 years. But I honestly think people might appreciate that answer more because they seem a little disappointed with the answer I give them. I think a lot of times in life we want kind of exciting, thrilling, answers to our problems. And a lot of times the actual answers in life are pretty simple. And this one's very simple. I will say one of the number one ways I've been over the years able to stay happy despite what's going on in the world, able to stay positive despite the setbacks I have in my life, is that I learn to appreciate the small things. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't set out to do this, okay? I don't recall being like, I need to learn to appreciate the small things in life. I'm gonna work on that, because that does sound boring. So I probably wouldn't have done it. However, over time, just while I was trying to work on other things and while I was studying and learning and researching and growing, I just found myself starting to do this. The ideal for this video, this is a crazy story. The ideal for this video came just like 5 minutes ago. So, long story. I I bought some food earlier, and it came with some plastic silverware that had a napkin in it. And I always have this dilemma where, like, I use the silverware, but I may not use the napkin. And I'll be honest, even though this is wasteful, sometimes I just throw the napkin and any extra silverware away. It's like, I don't need it. If I keep it, it just piles up because I get food delivered a lot. I don't know how to cook. That's something for another video. Anyway, so I had a napkin left over and I almost threw it away. And I was like, no, I might need it later. Fast forward a few minutes ago, I had ordered up a iced coffee. And when I took it out, it was nice and wrapped up and that tape all over the top, very safe, very secure. But when I took it out of the wrapping, it had drained kind of down on the side. A little sticky on the side. When I put it on the counter, there was like a coffee ring on the counter. Right next to it, though, was that napkin. And I was like, oh, I can use this napkin that I saved from earlier to clean this mess up. And I got very happy. Like, you can see it on my face. Like, I literally got so happy that I was like, I saved this napkin. Now I can use it. Yay. Like, it was a win. It was a moment for me. Right? And I was like, that's crazy, Tim, that you're getting this happy over like a free napkin. But that's when I realized that is one of the most powerful things in my life that keeps me going, keeps me smiling, keeps me joyful, is that the little things bring me so much joy. And if you want to get to that place and not take the long route like I did, I really feel like gratitude is a great place to start. If you're not feeling that type of love in your life for the little things, I think gratitude is a great place to start. The good thing is, we all have so many things in our life that we can be grateful for. We just have to notice them. We just have to see them. We just have to acknowledge them. So I think a great way to start a gratitude practice is to get a piece of paper, have a little note on your phone, whatever, and write down on there 1 through 5 or 1 through 10. And every day, maybe in the morning, maybe another time when you have a break looking for something to do before you start zombie scrolling on the tiki-taki, just write down 5 to 10 things currently in your life that you're grateful for. And we all have them. The fact that we woke up today makes pretty much everyone's list. The fact that you have food to eat, the fact that you have a roof over your head, the fact that you're sitting inside the AC or the heat, the fact that you have clothes on. There's so many things, so many things. And I think this is a great starting point for a gratitude practice because it will make us every day have to think about things we're grateful for. Because usually, if we just go along with what everyone else is doing, all we talk about, all we bring up, all we think about a lot of times is the negative stuff. We're happy about the stuff that's going well in our life, but if we're always focusing on the negative, a lot of that amazing stuff, especially the little stuff, can get lost in the sauce. It's like if you never think about something, you never think about it. Even if it's there, even if it's a blessing, if you never think about it, you never think about it, you can start to just, you don't get any joy out of the stuff that you don't like think about. And all we do a lot of times is think about the negative. And we're losing out on the joy that comes from all this really cool stuff that's happening to us on a regular basis. A lot of it really small, but still very powerful, very impactful. In fact, we can go so far as to feel like entitled to that stuff. If you don't focus on and just remember, like, hey, I don't have to have food every day. A lot of people don't. I don't have to have shoes on my feet. A lot of people don't. I don't have to have a job right now. A lot of people don't. If we don't focus on that and like remind ourselves, it's easy to like think that that stuff is just normal and it's not a blessing. And a lot of that stuff should be normal. We should have it, but it's still a blessing. And I found that the more I focused on these things privately, the more I start talking about it publicly. We'll be discussing something at work, boom, 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 everybody's negative, and then I just find myself saying, like, yeah, that's going on, but I'm just happy for this. Yeah, that might have happened, but I'm just happy for this. I find myself even when discussing my own stuff. Yeah, I might not be feeling 100% now, but like, and I had to take a few days off work to get over this illness, but at least I had a comfortable bed to lie in them 2 days. Nobody came over and bothered me. I had my own space. Like your thinking starts to change. Your thinking starts to change, and you find yourself always automatically over time going back to like the positive. And the more you do that, the more you start looking for that type stuff because it feels good. We do get some kind of like sick pseudo joy, I think, out of like negativity and talking about that type of stuff. But the real joy, those real joy hits that we get come from when we talk about something positive that means something, that we like, that we can smile about. And I think the more we find ourselves bringing these things up and focusing on these things and being grateful for them, the more we want to find other things to bring up and focus on because it feels good. And I think that's when you kind of get tapped into really appreciating the little things. Because it's like, oh, I don't have to just wait for something major to happen in my life and be like, oh, I'm so blessed to get this new car, which a new car is a blessing as long as you ain't got $1,000 car note. Anyway, well, hey, even if you got $1,000 car note and you've been blessed with the financial abundance to pay for it, do you, bro? Do you, sis? But like, you don't have to wait for the major things in life. You'll start to see there's just so many little things that happen every day that you'll be like, man, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. I like that. I'm like, man, I look good in this shirt. I'm happy about I'm happy about that. This shirt was like $12. Boom, winning. But yes, you will start finding yourself a lot happier because you just realize how much good stuff you have going on a daily basis. And here's the thing too, a lot of the stuff happens every day and you can get like joy out of it every day. Even once you're past to doing your gratitude list, which is something that, if you want to incorporate that in your life forever, cool. A lot of times people do gratitude meditation. I used to do that. I'd be meditating and sometimes I would just start meditating on the things I'm grateful for. But even if you get to a place where you're like, I don't need to do that anymore, it's become a part of who I am, you still get to like have those same joy hits every single day from the same stuff, even if you're not actively making yourself focus on it, once it's become like a part of you, it's there. And you're happy that you woke up the next morning, or this morning. You're happy that like you have lights. You're happy that your car started. You're happy you were able to stop and grab a coffee if that's your thing, or stop and grab breakfast. You're happy that your neighbor who sits on their porch every day and you wave bye to every day when you leave, because you know they're watching your house when you're at work, you're happy to see them. Oh, there's Sheila. Hey, every single day. The same stuff can bring you joy, as opposed to it just becoming more background noise and you don't even notice it, and instead you're looking for the next big like consumeristic dopamine hit, or the next like vice that you can get into to bring you joy. I used to be that person. For me, I needed to go out and get drunk, I needed to meet some women, I needed to party, I needed to have like big fun. Big fun. The old me would not understand why the Tim now is so happy. He'd be like, bro, you don't even be like hooking up like that no more. You don't drink, you don't go out. You just kind of be at the house making these little videos. Like, what are you doing? Like, the old me would see me as like a middle-aged failure. He'd be like, you going through some type of crisis, bro. What is going on? But I'm so much happier now. I'm so much happier now. Yeah, I had some fun times, and sometimes we was up here with the fun, but it also came with a lot of bad times, and it also was like artificial. It was like I actually had to like go out and do a bunch of stuff to get to it. Whereas now, my life is just good and I'm happy, just like living my normal life. Once you realize that there's so much like happiness and joy in the little everyday things, you can be like super happy. You can walk around with a smile on your face just from the little stuff. Hey, there was nobody in line when I got to the elevator, and I didn't have to talk to nobody or have that awkward moment while I was going up the 10, stories to get to work. It's gonna be a great day. I'll tell you, just being grateful for the things that are happening to us, that are going our way, the things we do enjoy. You can get to a point where like you start to be grateful and appreciate things that may not go your way, because it's a learning lesson. And there's a lot of little things that like happen. You can even start to find, joy in those. You stub your toe. It hurts. At least you got all your toes. You know what I mean? Right after you do that, you're like, hey, I stubbed my toe, but at least I got all my toes. At least I'm still able to move about. You know what I mean? Like it can get to that point to where you're constantly just seeing the good, seeing the positive in so much small little stuff. And then you'll kind of look at other people and you'll see how like they think their lives are over and empty and dull and pointless and meaningless unless they're doing something big, unless they're buying lots of things or they're having all these major conquests. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's also about appreciating the big stuff when we are blessed that way. But when you can feel blessed either way, when it's just like I'm just living my everyday life, and there's so many blessings, there's so many little things happening on a regular basis. I made the stoplight, didn't have to stop. Yes, I didn't make the stoplight. I get to sit here and kind of relax for a few for a few minutes. Yes, then your whole life, or a good portion of your life, because there will be times when like we're really going through something and we ain't got time for sometimes there's loss in life, sometimes there's suffering, sometimes there's pain, sometimes there's real things going on that momentarily might put us in a space where like we can't, or we don't have the at the moment. I'll get back to that, but right now I'm hurting, and that's understandable. I think sometimes people get the impression from me that like I'm always extremely happy and joyful and positive. I have my moments too. Now, you typically won't see me on camera during those moments because like I'm going through something. I'm dealing with something. I really don't feel like hopping on camera and doing a 2-hour live stream. Sometimes I will kind of on the back end of it because I do want to show that like, yes, there's ups and downs in life. But we can find ourselves the majority of the time like excited and happy and joyful, even on just like a random Tuesday, if we learn to appreciate all the small little blessings that we have going for us every single day. I honestly think in this life, the most powerful things are the small things. The most powerful things are the little things. And if we learn to appreciate those, it builds a very solid foundation for like appreciation throughout our life. If you appreciate the little small stuff and it brings you joy and happiness, when you do accomplish that big stuff, like, bruh, like you were over the moon ecstatic. Like, I did this, I did that. Wow. Like, it's mind blowing sometimes when you really accomplish those big goals, those big dreams, because you have a good foundation of just learning to appreciate everything that's going on around you, no matter how small. Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to y'all later.